Hello, YouTube family. Well, I was gonna go out and make a video today. Well, I'm making a video right now, but it didn't happen. My sleeping has been messed up pretty bad. I don't know. I'm trying to get it back in. I'm gonna go to bed at 10 o'clock tonight. My daughter's gonna give me a sleeping pill and try to get me to go to sleep and just wake up at a normal time in the morning. I don't know what's here lately. If I'm in the bed, I don't want to get out. And the only reason I wake up is I gotta pee. But it is what it is. I want to tell you a story. You know, I think maybe every family's got somebody, if it's a large family, it's got somebody that's kind of a nut. Crazy. Well, this is about Aunt Ruby. Aunt Ruby is the sister to my daddy-in-law, so it's my wife's aunt and mine by in-law. Back when my wife was a little girl, and there was 8 brothers and sisters there, and they lived down at the road on a piece of property that was right next to Daddy's sister, Aunt Ruby. They eventually had to trade their place for a place up in the cove just to get away from Aunt Ruby. She was a bona fide nut. She liked to get out there and start shooting her gun at you. Yeah, she would actually do that. She never actually hit anybody. But she had a pistol. And, well, yeah, she did hit somebody one time. But she didn't even get in trouble. They didn't even report it. How crazy was that? But they moved up in the cove and traded places with, let's see, who owned that? Okay, Daddy's youngest brother owned that place up in the cove. And he sold it to somebody named Charlie Wilson. And there wasn't any good farmland up there in that cove. And Charlie and his wife, Bonnie, they wanted to farm. My wife's parents' place there had a good piece of flat land down there. But Daddy wasn't a farmer. So to get away from Aunt Ruby, he traded that place for the place up in the cove. Because Aunt Ruby was always getting mad about something. She come out there shooting a gun. I don't blame her. I would have turned her into the law. I don't know if they've done anything about it or not. But that woman was absolutely crazy. One time, me and my brother-in-law, Susan, my wife's youngest brother, was walking down the road in front of Aunt Ruby's house. And Aunt Ruby was sitting out there Well, let me tell you, Aunt Ruby had a refrigerator. Nobody else up in there had a refrigerator. They had a spring house. And Aunt Ruby was sitting out there with a big old glass of iced tea with ice cubes in it. And she was taunting my wife and her baby sister and her baby brother with it. And she said, she said, I'd offer y'all some iced tea, but Law, it just costs so much to make them ice cubes, which is a crock. All you got, the refrigerator's sitting there running. But that's what she said. One time me and my brother-in-law was walking by there, and she had a peach tree sitting there in the yard, and her house was real close to the road. And those were October peaches. And my brother-in-law should have known better to even ask her. I was standing there, and he said, and that's before I really knew how crazy she was. And he said, Aunt Ruby said, can we pick a couple of those Octobers? And she said, no, you can't, they're mine. And she reached in her pocket. She had an old-fashioned dress on. She reached in her pocket and pulled out that pistol and laid it in her lap, but her hand's still on it. And said, if I catch you picking any of them, I'll shoot you. Well, we got the heck out of there. But that's how crazy she was. And her husband, Uncle Oscar, he was a real nice old man. He was the treasurer at the church. But I think at some point, Aunt Ruby, she had 2 kids, a daughter and a son. The son's name was Roger. I can't remember the girl's name. I think they eventually had her committed, sent her to a place called, the name of the hospital was State Hospital, Dorothea Dix Hospital. It was a state hospital, mental institution. And they sent her to Dix Hill. I reckon she died there. But I tell you what, if I'd have been living down there when my mother-in-law and all them was living down there right across the street from her, actually it wasn't a street, it's just a dirt gravel road. And she ever popped a shot off at me, I would pop one right back. And I probably would have hit her. But I never had no confrontations with her. But some of them people up there are crazy. They're not. There was a guy in the church, Briartown Baptist Church. He was a deacon there. And Briartown Baptist Church had just plain glass windows in it. It was wood frame. It'd been there 100 years. And they heated that church with a big old wood-burning stove that sit up front, up there close to the pulpit. That's how they heated that church. And then one day they decided they wanted to put some kind of central heat in that thing. They had a basement. They was going to put the heater in the basement and run ducts up and everything. And this deacon, his name was Weaver Cochran. And he was so against it. You ain't putting that in this church. And then he threatened to leave the church if they put it in there. Well, they went ahead and voted it in, and they put it in. And the day that heater went in that church, he never set foot in that church again. He started going to another church. But Weaver was and he was hard of hearing. And he had a store down the road there, an old-timey country store. But that's just how some of the people thought up there. You know, they were just, I mean, I loved it up there. But there were some crazy people up there.